to my channel. Today we are going to dive into a review of Mount Batur, which is an active volcano here in Bali. I went yesterday, so I'm relaxed and rested today. It was definitely a long journey, so I just wanted to run down through the basics of what the hike entails and what to expect. So I booked my experience through Airbnb, and they usually have a bunch of different treks that you can go on. You can read a bunch of reviews on those listings just to see which one suits you better. I would recommend one that picks you up earliest. So mine picked us up at about 2:30 in the morning, which is very early, but trust me, you want to go early. There are a lot of people that tend to do this hike every single day, so you want to be one of the first ones up there to grab a nice seat. So you'll want to be picked up anywhere between like 1:30 in the morning to 3 at the latest. Otherwise you'll get there kind of around the same time that we did. So I'll explain that later and show you videos. You'll get there to the mountain at about 4 a.m. You'll meet with a few other people that are going to take you up. We had one travel guide and he was great. He was really awesome. They will provide you with a headlamp and also a hiking pole or walking stick to help you get up, and you will need it. I wouldn't really suggest doing this hike without a tour guide. There are some times where the trail kind of splits off into 2, sometimes 3 directions. So unless you have like a very detailed listing of where exactly you're supposed to go, I wouldn't really recommend doing it without a tour guide. You will also want to dress very warm. And usually when people come to Bali, you don't bring like sweatpants and a thick jacket or anything like that. But if you do plan on going on this hike, I would recommend bringing those items, things to keep you warm. It is very cold once you get to the top. On the hike up, it isn't very cold because you're hiking up the mountain at a very steep incline, so you won't need too many layers on the way up there, but when you get to the top, you definitely will. When you walk up the mountain, it will be completely dark. Since they pick you up so early, the sun won't be out yet, which is what you're hoping for, and it will be very dark. So to give you kind of a breakdown of what you'll be walking through, you'll be walking through a small village at first to get to the base of the mountain and then to start the ascend. Once you start the ascend, it's a lot of sand at first, and it's very tiring because you're exerting so much energy to try to get through the sand. And when you hike up, you'll be hiking on a small ridge, and then to the sides of you are pretty steep declines down to the bottom of the mountain. You will encounter a lot of sand, like loose sand, a lot of big rocks. It's kind of like all terrain when you get there, so you'll want to make sure that you're prepared with really good shoes that won't allow you to slip. You'll also want to take it slow. Don't try to rush your way up the mountain to hurry up and get there because that can cause accidents, so you just want to be really careful. One tip that my tour guide gave us was to walk in a zigzag up the mountain. It's a little bit easier, that way you're not straining to walk straight up the mountain. Once I started doing this, it was a little bit easier, so I would recommend trying it. Your tour guide will probably also be doing the same thing, as they do this once, sometimes twice a day. Which is crazy to me because it was so hard for me to do that one day. So I would recommend trying to walk diagonal or in a zigzag pattern up the mountain if you can. Once you get to the top, there are going to be a lot of people, and you'll kind of see them displayed all around the ridge. There is a lot of seating, but the earlier you get there, you'll be able to get a really good spot where people won't be going in front of you. So when we got to the top, it was about 6 a.m. The sunrise usually starts about 6:15. So a lot of the good spots were taken. One of the spots that we found was kind of set behind everyone, but over to the side enough to where we could see the view, and we had a really good spot. But because we had a really good spot, a lot of people would take pictures in front of us, and so we couldn't, we then didn't have a really good view because everyone was using that spot as photo opportunities. So I highly recommend getting there a little bit early so that you can get a really good spot on the mountain. All right, so those are all my tips and tricks, and I hope you guys enjoyed. Now I will show you some of the footage from the top of the mountain. It was definitely one of the most beautiful things I've ever seen in my life, so all of the energy that you put into walking up the mountain, I promise you it is so worth it. So here you go. I hope you guys enjoy.